going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today I wanted to go ahead and talk about a topic regarding skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty because I see it quite frequently, in the comments section on a lot of different videos nowadays. And I think that I want to dive a bit deeper into this topic. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go ahead and dive deep, if you are interested in more content just like this, don't forget to go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in any of my live streams, I do that over on Kick pretty much daily as well. You can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video. And that stream usually goes live around 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, I personally believe that skill-based matchmaking has played a factor into how people view gameplay of Call of Duty when it comes to any channel on YouTube or even live streams in general as well. Now, of course, cheaters also have a huge play in this, but I really do believe skill-based matchmaking is, a cause for people just simply not believing anything is possible when it comes to actually getting footage. Every single time I see an individual post any type of gameplay where they get streaks or just at least perform good, it's always the same exact thing. People just can't believe it. They don't want to believe it. They think it's impossible, and they instantly think or believe that you are reversed boosting. That's the only other possibility. You can't be doing anything else. If you get good gameplay in a Call of Duty title, you have to be reverse boosting. The people that you're going up against, they look like bots. They look like they don't know what they're doing. So yeah, you're not playing legitimately. When in reality, that's exactly how Call of Duty has always been. And that's also where I'm coming to the conclusion that people have lost their perspective on, what gameplay is when it comes to a COD game and what is the whole purpose of, enjoying a Call of Duty title. I said it many times before, but I'm going to say it again. Why not? For people to enjoy COD, other people have to hate the experience, right? One of the biggest factors of Call of Duty is getting streaks, popping off, getting that adrenaline rush. And in order for someone else to, go ahead and, enjoy something like that, someone on the other side has to be getting whooped, has to be hating the game and the experience. It's just how things go. And that's also a factor to why this gameplay is even relevant, because we are versing people who are not as good as us. Not all the time. Yes, we can pop off sometimes and get some lucky games where we're versing people of equal skill and maybe still get a swarm or drop a nuke or anything of that, sort. But 9 times out of 10, you don't see that. You just simply don't see that. You see people whooping up other individuals who might be lower than their bracket. It's why a lot of higher skilled players, including myself, enjoy going into game modes like 10v10 or 12v12 because it's more of a rotation of players. In 6v6, it's fine-tuned. Now, of course, I rock with a full squad of 6, so I don't really mind as much. But especially as a solo player, if you're playing a 6-man party, that matchmaking is going to make sure that it's going to be just hyper-competitive. It's just as simple as that. So all the 6 opponents are more than likely going to be of your similar bracket, with maybe one of them being not, in your bracket. But what are the odds of you consistently seeing that one player over and over and over again, Let me tell you guys something. Over half the games I play in 12v12, when an enemy is streaking up on me, I don't see them. I want you guys to understand this, and I'm sure if you guys are really experienced players as well and you're really good at Call of Duty, you probably knows this as well. But 9 times out of 10, when you're playing 10v10 or 12v12, you don't see the other opponents who are streaking because more than likely they are streaking against your, lower tiered players. And yet on the occasion you're going to run into them and, you might take them off their streak or they might take you off their streak and you get those engagements. But 9 times out of 10, you're not getting a nuke by consistently killing their top player over and over and over again in a 10v10 and 12v12, right? No. Every single time someone streaks against me, it's from their lower tiered players. And when I streak back against them and I drop streaks on them, once again, it's usually off of their lower tiered players, so on and so forth. But the whole point that I'm trying to make here is that this type of gameplay isn't really possible unless you're versing someone who, like I said, is either tired, maybe they're exhausted. They could be in your same bracket, but maybe they're not in the right, mindset to be able to play competitively or something of that sort. Or, again, you are versing people who are not supposed to be in your bracket, and you're getting noobs or lower skilled players, so on and so forth, and you get streaks like that. But that is how this gameplay is possible, it just blows my mind that people don't understand this. People are shocked and they think that you're a trash player because you're posting up footage like this. No, a lot of people are good at the game, but if they showcase their really, competitive matches, you're not going to see swarms. You're not going to see nukes. You're not going to see advanced UAVs all the time. These absurd streaks. You would see none of that stuff because it's just not consistently possible unless, like I just said, if that person who is in your bracket just isn't in the right mind. Maybe it's extremely late, they're tired, they're exhausted, they're just not ready to play like how their stats are, claiming that they play. But 9 times out of 10, yes, you are going to be in lobbies like this, and people just don't want to believe it. But that is the hard facts of it. And again, this is where I come in with the point that I feel like skill-based matchmaking and cheaters and also reverse boosters who hide the fact that they reverse boost have completely changed the mindset and the perspective of players out there when it comes to Call of Duty, to the point that nobody believes anything. There used to legitimately be a time where people would understand that, yes, when you popped off, if you do it more consistently, if you can pop off a lot of times in a row, you're a pretty skilled player. But still, at the end of the day, for a fact that, they're not versing people of complete similar skill. You put Scump against Scump, it's going to be a pretty competitive battle. But if you put Scump against, your average, 1 to 2 KD lobby in a multiplayer experience, it's going to be, a wipeout, and he's going to be able to get some insane streaks and showcase some crazy gameplay. But again, that doesn't mean he's bad. It's just showcasing that, he wants to show his best gameplay to the crowd, to the people. It's just as simple as that. And people used to understand this, but like I said, those 3 things combined has changed the perspective of how people view Call of Duty. Reverse boosters have changed the perspective of gameplay, because now every single channel that you see, the comment sections are, this is just reverse boost gameplay. They're not actually going into the normal rotation. They're reverse boosting because so many people have been caught already. So many people have been posting gameplay for years and years and years, posing as high KD players, like they have the best stats in the world. And then they come out and they're actually reverse boosting for that stuff. And that has, kind of killed the trust in the community with what they're watching on these channels. You get what I'm saying here? That kind of killed the trust, the bond. And now people just simply don't believe it because now anybody could be reverse boosting and they're not going to open their mouths about it. And I don't care if you reverse boost and say you do, because, if you say you do and you mention that right out the gates, people can look at your stats and associate that and say, yeah, that makes sense. But these other people, they didn't. And people look at those stats and say, oh, yeah, 5, 6, 7, 8 KD is totally, tangible with just simply hopping into the match rotation. No squad, no teammates. I can hop in solo and just play the game and do my thing. When in reality, that's a very hard task to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? Unless you reverse boost. So that killed the perspective, along with skill-based matchmaking being toned, through the roof. Every single match is hyper-competitive nowadays, so people don't get tossed as many bones as they used to back in the day. So when they see these gameplay footages, along with people reverse boosting all the time, they don't want to believe it because they always have to compete. So if they always had to compete, they don't want to believe that someone else might get thrown a bone every once in a while. And then on top of that, cheaters being just rampant in this game. Nobody wants to believe that anybody might actually have a bit of skill in Call of Duty because pretty much, I don't want to say a massive portion of people are cheating, but I mean, it's a reason these cheating companies make millions on top of millions on top of millions of dollars. A lot of people are purchasing these things, and that is also killing the perspective of individuals out there to the point where they see any good gameplay and they instantly chalk it up as cheating. But I'm here to tell you guys, it's as simple as that. If you get good gameplay, it's because you're versing people who either are not mentally ready to be in the bracket that they usually are in, or they're just simply, not supposed to be in your bracket at all. It's as simple as that. So for all the people out there who are constantly in my comment section and other people's comment section, claiming that we are horrible players and we gotta be reverse boosting because, it's no way that we can actually be able to drop these streaks legitimately. Just please stop. Nobody's hiding anything. And I am so open with admitting this, I think it's as obvious as day that when you get these gameplays, obviously you're being pretty much thrown a bone, whether you're getting lucky with the algorithm or you got thrown into a match where you do get a bit lucky and people just, aren't in the similar bracket, whatever it is, man. I don't know what it is, but regardless, yes, footage like this is against people who aren't completely equal to my skill, or maybe they're just being thrown into the matchmaking as well, you know? Like this gameplay right here, the top player was still stomping out, but the rest of his team was just getting demolished, you know? Again, and I barely see him, and he probably barely sees me. We're just kind of, you know, feeding off of the new players on both of our teams. It's just as simple as that. So yes, no crap, this gameplay is against people who might be partially lower skill brackets. No crap. It's not rocket science. So trust me, you didn't figure anything out that's magical. This is just common knowledge. You know, if we post stuff that is equal of our skill bracket, I don't know how entertaining it'll be. You know, if it was ranked, yeah, I'll probably post that. But who wants to watch that in casual, right? It's a casual match. You literally hop into casual to do exactly what I'm showcasing here, to pub stomp and get crazy streaks. That's why you play casual. That's why you watch casual. If you wanted a competitive experience, you would probably watch ranked gameplay, right? But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and make this video of why I personally feel like skill-based matchmaking, reverse boosting, and all these other things have changed the perspective of how people view gameplay. It used to be a time where people would, you know, see cool footage like this and be happy and say, oh, look at these cool moments now, and, you know, that was pretty dope. But now, nobody can acknowledge any of this stuff because there's so many other factors, toxic factors in Call of Duty that have just ruined the overall vibes of, you know, just what this stuff is about. But, of course, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hated it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. We post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And if you want to catch any of my live streams, I do that over on Kick. You can find a link to that channel down in the description of this video, and that usually goes live around 1 to 2 p.m. Eastern Time. But as always, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.